go ahead and dive in the schedule here for Northwestern as we make our way through the Big Ten. So it's the Wildcats' turn, alphabetical order. We've already been through a couple of other conferences, ACC, Big 12. And this is just an offseason, not even so much an exercise of trying to predict anything, but just taking a look at every single team and just giving them a good 10 minutes of just looking at what they got upcoming and how all that falls into play. And I feel better for having done it because I don't remember every single thing, but I do feel like I've at least taken a look at Northwestern after the fact, or taken a look at Illinois, or teams that I might not otherwise talk as much about or pay as much attention to. I am doing that as a result of this exercise, so hopefully it works out for you in a similar fashion. But Northwestern up as we go alphabetical, had Nebraska. I guess that was yesterday. And so the Wildcats, man, you mentioned bowl game kind of flippantly. They made one a couple of years ago. I mean, it's just 2 years ago. It's been some hard times, though, over the last decade. That's for sure. 4-8 last year under second-year head coach David Braun. But 2 years ago, they did win 8 games in his debut year, won the Las Vegas Bowl. But prior to that, it's been very up and down. You got 3 wins in 7 years, and 3 wins, 7 wins, 3 wins, 1 win, 8 wins, 4 wins. So it's definitely not a straight line, and it's definitely not going straight one direction or the other. It's just very much up and down. So what does Northwestern have in store as far as what they will be facing this season? Well, how about right out of the gates going to NOLA and taking on Tulane? Just right there in week number 1, Saturday, August the 30th. A nice non-conference matchup for the Wildcats with the Green Wave. It's already been announced as an 11 a.m. kickoff there on Saturday, August the 30th. So that will be their first matchup. And, hey, man, take your pick as far as that goes. Then they will have a short turnaround, but not too much to be concerned about, because although you are playing on a Friday, so that costs you a day going into your second week, is Western Illinois. I think you feel pretty confident about being able to beat them with one less day to get ready. But that is going to be a Big Ten Network Friday night game there, Western Illinois and Northwestern. Then you get into Saturday, September the 13th. You got Northwestern playing host to Oregon. It's already been announced as a noon game on Fox. And then you get your first bye week. So I'm thinking 1 and 2 is very possible here. And 2 and 1's also possible. I don't see a scenario where they're beating Oregon in week 3, though. So 2 and 1 or 1 and 2 is where I see them. 0 and 3, disaster has struck. And 3 and 0, oh, damn, we need to start talking more about Northwestern.
Exactly. I think Tulane's going to be pretty good. John Sumrall, the coach there. So, yeah, I think this is a 1 and 2 start, which, looking at the rest of their schedule, you've now, lost some chances to get to that, but they don't, they kind of get a couple chances to win games, and then they get Oregon, right? That pops up, and then they have we'll go through the rest of it here. But yeah, I think that's probably 1 and 2. And if it's 0 and 3, then the loss to the Western Illinois Leathernecks is not going to go over well.
No, that wouldn't go over well at all. That'd be bad news for David Braun. So you got those 3 games to start off the season. They'll take a break, get that bye week into play, and then come back.
In a game of inches, every advantage matters. Grip socks aren't just an accessory. They're a performance tool. With advanced grip technology and arch support, you can change direction faster, accelerate quicker, and stay in control. It's not just about the sock. It's about the edge it gives you. Grab Luxletic grip socks from the TikTok shop. Try them now and wonder how you ever managed without it.
Lux Sports Socks. luxsports.co.
For the remainder of this second wave of the schedule, everybody with 2 bye weeks, as our audience probably knows all too well, but just reasserting that. So after that first bye week, Saturday, September the 27th, they are at home, 3rd straight home game, taking on UCLA. Then a 4th straight home game as they will welcome in UL Monroe. So kind of funky placing of a non-conference game there, as you've already played a couple conference games. But UL Monroe there on Saturday, October the 4th. Keep rolling into Saturday, October the 11th. You got a trip to Happy Valley, take on Penn State, who could very well be the number 1 team in the country at this point, top 5, top 10, or maybe they've slipped a little bit, but they should be pretty damn good. We know that. Then Saturday, October the 18th, you're back at home taking on the Purdue Boilermakers. No break yet. You get one more game before your second bye, and that will be Saturday, October the 25th. You go to Lincoln to take on Matt Rule and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. So that second wave, you got home against UCLA and UL Monroe and Purdue, and road trips to Penn State and Nebraska.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really hard to get through above water. Like their schedule is not like Oklahoma last year tough, but I mean, it's pretty like close to what you would in the Big Ten because, Purdue has a new coach in Barry Odom, and they get that one at home. UCLA
they should be better. You would just assume they'll be a bit, not, I don't know how much, but they should just be better.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah. And then UCLA, we don't really know how that's going to work out. And of course, Louisiana Monroe, those are games that I would say they have the best shot at winning, but on the road in Happy Valley and in Lincoln, I don't see that working out for them.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I did see Nebraska lose at home in person last year, but Illinois was pretty good. Yeah. So, and that was a game that was pretty crazy down to the wire and was an insane game to watch and be there for. But yeah, they've drawn some of the bigger names so far in this schedule. So they'll have their second bye week, and then they come back 4-game stretch to close out the year. Their second Friday game, and that will be on Fox on the road against USC. So over the span of a month, they will go to Happy Valley, to Lincoln, and to Los Angeles as part of this schedule. They turn around. They're back at home. Good news, right?
Mm-hmm.
They get Michigan on Saturday, November the 15th. Then
they're at home. They're both at Wrigley Field back-to-back weeks.
Wrigley Field back-to-back. Well,
yeah.
It's a home game.
Yeah,
it's a home game. So then they get Minnesota as a home game on November 22nd, and then close it on out on the road at Illinois, who we just mentioned a second ago, who I got to see go beat Nebraska in person last year. So, yeah, that is the final stretch of the schedule, looking at road trips to Champaign in Los Angeles and Michigan and Minnesota at your home spot there, sandwiched in between. So, man, it's pretty daunting looking schedule, man. You're going to Tulane, to Penn State, to Nebraska, to USC, to Illinois. You still get Oregon, Penn State, and Penn State's on the road. But you still get Oregon, Michigan, and then who knows how much better UCLA or Purdue might be. But yeah, man, you're scraping to make a bowl game this year. I think that's pretty fair to say.
Yeah, look, if this winds up 4-8, I think they should be like, okay, because that's going to be tough. That's going to be really, really, really tough. And Northwestern's maybe more behind the 8 ball than anybody else in the entire Big Ten when it comes to rebuilding a roster. Because again, it's like Stanford, like you can't just go and be like, man, this kid's good. Let's get him here. NIL money and all that, you could have it, but you got to make the grades. And there's not, and this, look, admittedly, at a lot of the Big Ten schools, there aren't basket weaving majors, but it is even tougher. So yeah, I would say 4-8 would be a tremendous way to come through this schedule.
Well, 4-8 would be the under. They are projected at 4.5 wins last I looked, and that puts them in a group of teams that they will be playing alongside of, though. So there's some games on there that maybe you chalk up as a loss that maybe is more of a flip type game that they could pull one away, like an Illinois, for example, like a Purdue. But yeah, they are in that 4.5 club. Illinois is actually 5.5, but 4.5, you got Michigan State, Northwestern, Minnesota, Purdue, and UCLA as well. So there's another team that's kind of on par with them. So you can see where maybe they sneak a couple wins, but yeah, there's not a lot of room for error on this schedule. Now, they do have some teams they miss, obviously. You're not going to play Ohio State, so that's nice. You don't play Iowa. You don't play Washington. You don't play Wisconsin. You don't play, Maryland. And then we kind of get into who else is out there that I haven't mentioned. Michigan State. Don't play Michigan State either. And they don't play
Rutgers
or Indiana. So I think that's the crew of teams they don't play. So they do miss out, but man, they do get if you're a fan looking for names on the schedule, I think you're satisfied with that. You got a handful of names for sure. You do miss out on a couple of ones, but Yeah, that's pretty daunting. So you can see why they're at 4.5 over under this year, the old Northwestern Wildcats. That's what they're looking at in 2025.